All right, what's good? What's good? We streaming live. Welcome to Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine.
I am still James.
James coming to us via Google Hangouts. We're gonna do a little movie review, and we got a couple of trailers to react to and discuss. But right before that, I got a intro. All right. That's my intro. All right, we back. All right. So we went to see Escape Room. Just saw that. Just saw that today. Just saw that about an hour ago. So we fresh off this shit. So overall, Brother James, what you think of this movie?
What did I think about this movie?
Well, so let me tell you about a little bit about the movie. I mean, because obviously the movie was so good, it left you speechless. So,
yes, sure.
All right, Escape Room. Escape Room is it's a movie kind of like a what? How would you describe it? It's not a. I guess a thriller slash horror. It's like a horror thriller, maybe.
Yeah. Like I definitely would call it a thriller slash horror movie. Yeah, it's in a similar realm to like Saw, but
right,
softer.
Right. It's kind of like whatever you would call the movies that you have to get out of a situation or something. You know, where when you don't have your main antagonist is not a person, it's the situation, I guess you would say. You know what I'm saying?
Situational thriller.
Oh, what now?
A situational thriller?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's a thing, but okay.
I mean, if it's a thing, then yeah, but...
Yeah. So, okay, this movie, it starts off with, it was about 5 of them, I believe. It was like 5 people, and they didn't know each other, and they all received a invitation to go to Escape Room. Now, Escape Room, which I have not heard of this. I guess people actually do this. Do you heard of people that do this?
Like, yeah. I mean, okay. They've gotten really popular over the past few years, but it's like basically like you sign up and you and a group of people go in there. They lock you in and like you gotta find clues on how to get out of the room and solve all kinds of puzzles.
Right. So I guess that's why this movie is like, okay, this is a good time for this movie because people do this. I didn't know people do this. And it seemed like it would be kind of fun, but now after seeing this movie, I don't know about that.
Like, cause around the time that these really started like picking up, because like they were kind of fringy when they first started cropping up, and then it's like every now and again, like someone would put out like a little like horror story or something about like, oh, but what if like, cause I forget the dude's name. I want to say his name is H.H. Holmes, but there was a serial killer back in the day that used to make these murder.
Yeah, that was his name. They making a movie about it. Leonardo DiCaprio playing H.H. Holmes.
That figures. I'm down for that. But but yeah, so like he used to make these elaborate murder rooms.
Right. He had like a hotel, and then like when they had like a fair, he'd be like, "Hey, I got cheaper rooms than everybody else." People like, "Oh, cool," and, and they never made it out that shit.
Right, and so like this is so it's kind of that same kind of stuff that
Yeah. So the people get this. It's like a invitation in a box. First, I was like, "Why would people do this?" But it did say you get $10,000. So I'm thinking like people just, I guess they just feel like, hey, it can't hurt. It'll be fun. I can get $10,000.
Worst scenario, $10,000.
You said what now?
Worst case scenario, I don't win the 10,000.
Right, and I have some fun or whatever. So I can understand why people went. because they didn't know how serious it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So and so, in true horror movie fashion, you think it's a game. Once they get there, they all locked in this room, or they all basically one room. They gotta make it to the next room or whatever. And I'm like, so far, it's okay. You meet all your characters. A lot of the characters, well, not all of them. Some of them you just met when you get to the room. But, you see your main character. What's her name? I think her name was Zoe in the movie, but her real name, I think it was Taylor or something. She's in that Lost in Space show. I'm talking about the little, I guess she looked like she like biracial, the little black girl.
Yeah.
So she basically your main character. I thought old girl was gonna be the main character when I seen her.
Old girl off of Daredevil.
Yeah, what's her name?
I completely blanked on her name, but I saw her and I was about to call her out, and I'm like, damn, I don't remember her name anymore.
Yeah, so when I saw her, I thought she was gonna be the main character, but I see they trying to push these younger actors, so that's cool. And it's a couple of familiar faces. Tyler Labine was in there. He always played just the funny guy or the silly funny guy, whatever. And a couple other characters. I don't really know their names, but they was cool. They was kind of types though. You had the black guy. He was the asshole. Then you had
the alpha male asshole. You had the dad character.
Yeah, and then you had the little I don't know what's going on guy.
The gamer.
Yeah, well, not the gamer. I mean, it's always the one that's smart that knows this, and then it's the squirrely little dude that worked in
the loser.
Yeah, the loser. So you had all your types. So they felt some tropes, and then the movie was okay. Up to that point, I felt like they had to introduce everybody. I felt the dialogue kind of forced because before people know each other, they was all kind of like telling their stories and all this stuff. And I was like, that's not how it would happen. If you go into that waiting room, ain't nobody gonna talk to each other until something like happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just know how people are. Everybody in their own little thing. And they all kind of like hit it off just like so quick. That's all like
they acted like they was coming to a meet and greet.
Yeah, like they already knew, like they already texted each other, like, yeah, we're gonna meet each other at the escape room, and then we'll get to no, y'all didn't know each other before y'all got there. So when y'all all sat down, y'all probably, was not gonna talk to each other until something happened that made y'all talk to each other. But that's cool. I felt it was a little forced, but it was all right, the little stupid dialogue. But like I said, everybody had the types. And so that was kind of like your performances. So we can get more on the best character in the movie was the rooms. How did you feel how did you feel about the elaborate, escape rooms they had set up?
There was some of them where I was looking at it like just the first one, like there were so many clues as to what the obstacle in the room was going to be, and like almost none as to what the solution was going to be. Like I
swear, and they figured shit out. Like really, but yeah, finish saying what you
like saying. They would stumble onto the clues and everything, and it was like there was no actual intelligence involved.
I know, and I'm looking like okay, and I don't want to spoil like what the answers and the clues was, but basically the clock was ticking on every one of the escape rooms or whatever, and they made the clues too. I ain't gonna say too hard, but they made clues that you might have to sit down and think about, opposed to frantically running for your life. You ain't thinking straight when you frantically running for your life. You know what I'm saying?
And like even like the way when it would give you the clues, it would either this is the only person that would come up with the answer to this clue because we made it for him.
I know, right? Granted, I give them this. They didn't add that element when the clock was ticking. You know what I'm saying? Which is okay. I give you that, but once they start doing that, that's when the movie kind of start to fall apart for me. Where I was feeling like, okay, you got a simple premise. it's kind of fun, and I'm having a cool ride with this. But when you start adding that old personal stuff, and they did flashbacks. I ain't spoiling nothing, but they do these all the times in these movies. It's it's pretty real close to the Saw formula. How did we get here? Everybody got a story, and then they throw a little flashback of, why is this one thing this one item mean something to me or whatever. So they did that. And they do that a lot. They do that in the Saw a lot too.
And they called it out so much too.
I know. It was some of the stuff was it was to the point that they made it too obvious. It was like a scene. It was just like a scene where you knew something was gonna happen because the way they framed it and the way they just did stuff. It didn't shock you because you just set up for it like so much that, oh shit, here goes something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because looking at like the way they frame some of the different rooms, like some of the ones towards the front, like one of the great things about it, and especially with them not having that clock ticking down, was so if y'all don't solve this, you're just gonna die here eventually.
Right, and also they followed a pattern, which was kind of like getting on my nerves, where it's like, dude, y'all can't be this predictable where, one person died per room or whatever. So, somebody had to go. And I mean, I don't want to spoil that. I guess that's a spoiler, but I don't know, whatever. But it's just the fact that every time they did it, I was like, okay, you're going to do it again. You're going to do that again. So somebody not going to make it. I just knew somebody wasn't going to make it, Yeah. It just, it was a little too. It just got real predictable at that point. But some of the rooms themselves though, was kind of cool, elaborate, nice little rooms. I'm gonna tell you, the upside down room was kind of dope. Yeah. But who didn't see the outcome of that? Like once this trap started going off, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what's gonna happen.
The second the trap started going off, like I knew what was gonna happen, who it was gonna be.
I wasn't sure who was gonna be. I give him that one because you kind of feel like, okay, this one, she might make it to the end. I don't know, but so I wasn't sure who was gonna be when it happened, but I kind of had a feel for who was gonna last to the end because of the way their character was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, once you get down to them last two people or whatever, these movies do this, and they have that certain character type, and I'm not gonna say who, they have that certain character be the other person that's surviving because they got a feud with the person that you like. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Because like they want to make sure that you're rooting for the character that they bring to the end. Mm-hmm. So they had to make sure you had to choose between the one that they think you're gonna vibe with and the one that they think you won't like.
Right, not to give away too much, but it followed a pattern that all these movies follow. Though it was a lot of that, in there. And the movie wasn't even that long either, so that was a plus. Oh, yeah. For a movie like this, where you feel like they ain't gonna get too complicated. They're just gonna keep it kind of simple. So
like that, and the longer you keep that premise going, the less you can surprise people with any given twist.
I know. So they basically played the movie by the numbers, which was okay because, like I said, I was just having fun with it because it got predictable, but it was still fun for a certain amount of time where I was like, okay, let's see how this trap was going to, take these people out, or, let's see how they get out this next trap. Let's see how they get out that next trap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I was having some fun with it, but at some point they tried to get a little too ambitious.
But like, and when it happened, like I'm watching it happen, like somehow they dumped a whole bucket of cans into this movie. And I don't know where they found it, but they managed to fit it all in there, and it completely changed the movie.
Right. I'm going to say something about when they start closing this movie up. Now, we're going to talk about the end in a minute, but before the end came, they kind of gave you somewhat of an explanation. and I kind of was cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Where I was like, okay, that's simple. But they went further with that, where I was thinking, okay, the explanation they had was good enough. You could have just ended it, you know?
Yeah.
And they added another part to it. And I was wondering, I got a feeling they added that extra part. We'll talk about that in a minute, but on the whole though, what you think about all the performances? Like, did anybody stand out, or was it just another movie?
I mean, there were for the most part, it was just another movie. There were a couple of performances where it was like, I thought they were doing a good job, and maybe it was just the writing or the direction, but they doubled and tripled down on, their key character traits, and it started making them ring a little false towards the end.
Yeah, I was just getting her old girl, Zoe. I can't tell her whatever. I think they asked her to do a little too much, because it was certain parts where she had to throw too much emotion in it, which is understandable because of the situation she was in. But it just got to be a point. It got to the point where it was like, man, no, it's like I wasn't feeling it.
Because like they just kept putting every emotional moment on her. Like, what didn't matter what the emotion was.
Right.
Okay, and you're reacting. Everybody else, go about your business. You're reacting.
Right. Well, I'm gonna tell you what though. I actually it's one part that actually got to me in this movie. And I ain't gonna say exactly what it was, but it was between two of the characters. It was like the Tyler Bean character and the black guy. They had that one part towards the end. I ain't gonna say exactly what it was, but it was a part that actually got to me. I was like, I'm actually feeling something here. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think, movies like this, I don't feel nothing. I just watch it and it's done. You know what I'm saying? And they actually, so I was like, I'm gonna give them some points just for putting up an effort on the performance and making me feel an emotion, because they usually don't do that. But it wasn't enough to save the movie. So let's talk about the ending. Let's talk about that ending. So they had a last trap. The last trap was it was a little elaborate, and it was kind of like, okay, y'all going with something here. It's kind of silly, but okay, we'll leave that alone. But the movie, I felt like the movie should have wrapped up at one point where it was like a move. It was like a ending where they don't let I guess ending that you don't expect nowadays, because of how Hollywood got to give you the happy ending. Mm-hmm. It was like a point where if they would have ended it would have made it kind of decent, but they kept going, dude.
Well, because like, especially the way they chose to do it, like, you had a really decent ending for this kind of movie, without being too much of a feel-good happy ending,
Yeah.
And then they decided, let's just rehash all of this and remix it in 5 seconds.
Dude, they was trying to set up for a part 2, kind of like a Final Destination thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, if this makes some money, we could easily do a part 2,
But like, and it goes to like I guess one of the major downsides to how much, leeway studios have now. It's like, you can make a franchise out of anything.
I know. I mean, they just waiting to catch something successful or whatever. But the way they ended was so comic bookish. They turned this into a possible thing to an impossible, crazy ass, evil villain behind the curtain shit.
Well, like, also, even the way they executed it feels really, really, like, even within the bounds of their narrative, feels really forced and kind of ham-fisted.
I feel like they added that, dude. Like, people didn't like the original ending, and they added that. I mean, because it didn't match. It just felt weird. But I mean, that's all I'm gonna say, dude.
Because like, the end of the primary conflict, if we can call it that, before the actual ending of the movie, it feels kind of Pyrrhic. It feels like, well, this is what you get. You just kind of have to take the win on this one.
Mm-hmm.
But like, in as much as this opens the ending they gave the whole film, gives them an opportunity to say it's still open-ended, it's not over yet. But also, it gives you the room to hope that if we get to see the next one, they can really wipe the slate clean and actually come back on the offensive.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a part two on Redbox. Like if they keep it like on Hulu or something, I'll sit down and watch it. If I'm chilling or whatever, but they better not bring it to the theater again.
Right.
Cut that shit out right now. Drop that. But yeah, like I said, it was an okay movie. They got a little too ambitious at the end and end up going a little left field with it. But it was an okay watch. When I was walking out, it was some guys that was behind me. Was like, "What the fuck was that? That was trash." I was just laughing to myself, like, "Oh my god!" But I'm gonna tell you what. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna give it a rating, and I'm not gonna give this movie, a hot garbage. I'm gonna give this movie it all right. Meaning that it's worth the rental. It's not worth spending money for. Dollar Redbox, Netflix. It'll be something you can sit back, watch and chill. But it's not worth going to see. So, I give it all right. The escape rooms had some decent little rooms for it. The characters were cliches, but that's how these movies always are. And they left it over for part two, albeit a dumb idea, a dumb way of executing it, but it's okay because the premise is fun. So if you can get it, if you get it together, I'll be down for a sequel. But what you rated?
You know what? From the jump, I was pretty much hoping this would at most be an eye, and that's pretty much what it is. Because like with the movie like this, and you said it best, it's fun. It's just fun enough to keep it from being, hot garbage. Because it's not a premise that we haven't seen before. It's not an execution we haven't seen before. There's nothing new here, and what is in any way new doesn't work. So it's like you just have to sit back and have fun with it.
Yeah, I took my expectations, man. I left that shit before I got in the theater.
Just tuck that expectation chain in your shirt, man. You don't need it,
expectations, my brain, all that. I left that at the door. I did not bring that into the theater because I already knew what I was getting into. We both give it all right. Like I said, it's worth the rental, but it's not worth spending your money on. You can have a little fun with it, but ultimately it's kind of stupid. But it is what it is. All right, so we're gonna move on, and we're gonna do a little reaction, have a little discussion for this final Captain Marvel trailer, dude. So let me change that text, but I haven't been hearing too much about this about Captain Marvel. Hold on. Yeah, all the stuff I've been hearing about this Captain Marvel, man, just ain't nobody really talking about is like looking that good. Like ain't nobody ain't nobody excited about it like that. I haven't heard too many good words about it.
Like the most buzz I've heard about this movie since it was announced was they didn't like the way her costume looked when they first got the cut, and they didn't like that the trailer had her beating up an old lady. Like that was the only thing I heard about this movie.
Oh, people was complaining about that. People was complaining about that.
Yeah, it's like the only thing that the Captain Marvel trailer shows you is that Captain Marvel beats up old women. Like, and that was the only like I searched for Captain Marvel, and the first 10 things was people put that was the only article just Captain Marvel beats up old women. Captain Marvel punches women on subway. Like that was everything.
Yeah, I mean, I saw. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, like everybody, like, okay, well, we'll see, and I wasn't even excited to see Captain Marvel, so I'm not really tripping, but I was like, okay, if she ties into the Infinity War, that's kind of exciting, that's cool. And I guess she got like a following, in the comics, so I guess that's cool. And then, when I saw that trailer, I was kind of like not impressed, but we'll see. And then I seen the second trailer, still really not impressed. Brie Larson, to me, man, she's wooden. Like, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's the character though. Maybe the character just like, don't have that much expressions or emotions or whatever. I mean, because you can't play it just like that, I don't think.
Well, because like the thing that about the characterization of the character to me has always been she's kind of been like a female version of Hal Jordan.
Okay, no, see that's not what I saw though. Like
Exactly.
I didn't see no spunky girl with attitude, and I saw she looked like she was. I was like, did they fry her brain or something? She just looked bored and you know what I'm saying? Wasn't nothing there.
She's clearly been written as a badass, but that's not what we're getting, I guess. It's like she doesn't feel like one.
Yeah, I know.
Like, she doesn't feel like she's going to come in, take charge. She just feels like she's there.
Question. What have you known Brie Larson to be in? Like, what's she known for? Anything like popular or like? I just want to know, like, does she do a good job? Because I remember she was in Kong Skull Island. She wasn't that great in there either. And I'm thinking, like, okay, is she really good or is she just
blanking.
A face? She's just a face.
I know I've seen her in other stuff, but I am blanking hardcore.
All right, let's watch this trailer, man, for people getting impatient. And watch this trailer, and then we have a little discussion on what it looked like. So without further ado, Captain Marvel final trailer, special look, some shit like that.
Grunge is a good look for you.
Did you have a rough day, Agent Fury?
I'm gonna need clarification on this space invasion.
Skrulls are infiltrating your planet. They're shapeshifters.
Okay, prove you're not a Skrull.
That's a photon blast.
And?
A Skrull cannot do that.
I'm just supposed to take your word for that. We are Kree. Strong, united. You have to let go of the past.
I don't remember my past.
Control it.
I have this power, but I don't know where it came from.
I've never seen anything like her.
You think you can find others?
She's just the beginning.
You've come a long way, but you're not as strong as you think.
Yeah.
What is this?
The SHIELD logo.
Does announcing your identity on clothing help with the covert part of your job?
Said the space soldier who was wearing a rubber suit.
Get tickets now.
Get tickets now. You about to get your ticket, bro? You know you can get tickets now. You about to get your ticket? Okay. You about to get your ticket or what, man?
Yeah, let me wait on that. Let me see how my money looks.
So anyway, no, I mean it looked cool. It looked cool, man. It looked like they put some of the Marvel humor in there. Like, it's kind of in line with Marvel humor. What you think?
You know what? This movie just doesn't. Maybe it's just because we're coming to the end of this genre's prominence. I just don't care.
I know. I swear, dude. It's like I'm telling you like this, man. I feel like Marvel hit their ceiling with not Winter Soldier, with Civil War. Like, I feel like I was waiting on Infinity War for so long, so I had to see that. Like, I'm still want to see Marvel movies, but I feel like they got to the farthest they can get when they went to Civil War. Was a great movie, great ensemble. It's like now everything they gonna do now is I feel like this is gonna be repeating.
It's kind of like it's kind of like when you watching like some of these superhero TV shows. Like when it first jumps off, you're happy for every little scrap or something that ties into the comic books. But
I know,
once
because
you
we
in
didn't
it
used
so
to
long,
get
it's
that.
like, yeah, whatever.
Right. Because we didn't used to get shit, and they said, "Oh, that's such and such. Oh, that's such and such." Now they didn't show everything and everybody, and now it's like, okay, it's hard to get excited. It's hard to get excited when we see another character, and unless you bring something so new to the table that we ain't seen it. And I'm sorry, Bree ain't bringing shit to the table that I ain't seen, that I haven't seen, or do I want to see. Maybe I guess she can fly and shoot lasers. That's cool. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but we got folks that can do that. So.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I guess I give them this. Most of the Marvel movies were grounded on Earth, and now she can fight in space. So that take it to that next level, of in space. They kind of opened that up with Guardians of the Galaxies or whatever, but
because now part of the challenge they have is explaining where she's been all this time.
Yeah, but one thing I didn't understand was she said, I ain't got no memory. And why she said, I got this power, I don't know where y'all got it from. You got it, didn't you get it from a blood transfusion from a Kree? I mean, or from Captain Marvel or whatever. I mean, didn't they just show that shit? That's why she got the blue blood come out her nose.
Yeah, that's supposed to be where it come from.
So what you mean you don't know where you got your power from? You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers training you, they the one who gave you the power. What are you talking about? I mean, I'm sure that's taken out of context. That might mean, that might have been reference to something else or whatever.
I mean, unless they retconned it so that, she didn't get the power, like, she got some enhanced physiology from a blood transfusion from Marvel, but she got her, the rest of her powers from somewhere else. If that's what they're trying to say.
Really were.
They just retconned that.
And don't tell me it was in you all along. I don't want to hear that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, be serious. She was a human.
And you were entrusted with the power cosmic.
Right. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Be serious. She was human. She got a blood transfusion from either Captain Marvel or whatever. And now she, got his powers or whatever. I mean, it's what it looked like. Could be something different. I'm not sure about her whole story, so people don't please be hit me up on comments. You don't know what you're talking about. She did this, she did that. I don't know, and I don't care. But I just feel like she's saying, I don't know where my power come from. You're getting trained by the motherfucker that gave you the power. What else you want?
Like, also, if they've been training you as part of their elite, military unit for so long, you mean they weren't trying to figure out where your power came from? They don't know that?
Well, so you know what? I'm gonna say that was taken out of context. That probably means something else. That's fine. That's not even a big deal. Let's talk about Brie Larson performance, the way she acted in this role. Are you feeling her like being, funny and making those little quips and, whatever? You feeling that?
Part of the thing that's like Marvel has really kind of hinged their success on for the past, almost 2 decades now?
And I don't think she can do it, though, because it looks like she's reading lines.
Because, casting, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, it's like the best casting you could ever have. Right. Chris Evans as Captain America, like all of these casting choices that just work so well, like to the point of, no, that guy is clearly that character.
Yeah.
And I don't get this feeling with her. Like it feels like anyone else could have been in that role and I wouldn't have minded.
Right. When she making the little quips and stuff, it looks like she just reading. You know what I'm saying? It just looks like she's reading a line. Like they just
exactly.
Say, hey.
Like I don't get the feeling of her being the character. I get the feeling that she's playing a role.
Yeah, right. It's like she was reading off a teleprompter. She didn't just say that like a person would say it. You just read it. That's called bad acting where I come from. And you supposed to say the galaxy? What the fuck? And then they told me some that one scene when he's like, you some kind of something. Heroes. We're heroes. I'm looking like, damn, you flat. Like, how you get this job? So, moving on, what you think about the special effects?
I mean, they're all right.
I know you hit the nose on the head. It's like, okay, it looked like Johnny Storm on Fantastic Four. I mean, cool, but what have I seen this? Yes. Am I jumping up for joy? You know, throwing my popcorn up? No.
Because like I think one of my biggest problems with the whole idea of this Captain Marvel movie and the timing of it is everything Captain Marvel can do. We've seen folks do for over 10 years now. We've been watching all of these different superheroes do all this stuff, and all it is that they like. And I hate to say it, but it feels like they just needed a female superhero right now.
Hey, dude. Hey, man, you just fucking Professor X my ass, didn't you? You went in my brain and you took out exactly what I was about to say. Because I swear to God, I was just thinking that. I was just thinking, dude, I think they just rushed this script because they wanted to get a female-led superhero movie because DC won up their ass with Wonder Woman. And they was like, man, we need a female superhero like now. What about Captain Marvel? She can tie the Infinity War. Yeah, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, you know, they planned this, they did this. It was a knee-jerk reaction. And now you kind of got not a mess, but you got some bland shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then this is gonna lead up to Avengers 2. Not a good look, man. Not a good look at all. I'm gonna tell you like this. If this bomb, Avengers 2, and if the Avengers 2 don't do what the predecessor Avengers 1 kind of set up for it, like if they don't bring it home with Avengers 2, I think Marvel just gonna be like heading in that down direction, and DC might be moving up because I mean Aquaman made all this money. Not saying it was great, but it made a lot of money, and that kind of opened the door to DC to kind of keep going. So we'll see. But I'm just saying, looking at this movie, it could be the beginning of the end for Marvel. Not saying it is. I'm just saying it could be.
So, yeah, because I think they wrote themselves into a corner, like not an actual corner, but this was the wrong time to make that decision. Like and again, like I know I'm going to catch some flack for it, but this feels like this is like, in the wake of the Me Too movement, there's been a lot of pandery stuff done, and so. I feel like they was like, okay, and the point of our narrative that we're at now with these movies, what female superhero who doesn't need to be introduced by a different male hero can we bring in? And the only one that makes any kind of sense is Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what they did, and I'm like, I don't have nothing against it. I was good with the idea when I seen it, but seeing this though, it
requires that you do it extremely well.
I feel like it was just rushed, it's not. It's probably not gonna be trash. It just looked bland. I feel like it's gonna do good. It's probably like Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna make money initially on their first weekend. Because Marvel, just if you put Marvel logo on there, you're gonna make about at least $50 million. No matter how bad it is. And then when word of mouth get out there, it's not great. I think it just the numbers not gonna just climb like they wanted to. So we'll see though. They bringing it out when March. When is it coming out? Like March?
I think so. Yeah.
So they not even taking a chance on bringing it out in the summertime, which is smart. But that's also telling me that they don't have that much faith in it either. I don't know, but looking at it, I'm not,
Because this is the point. I feel like this would have done better if it was like a mini series to put out. They
want that movie money, man. Come on, dude.
Yeah, because even I'm gonna be honest, I really enjoyed Ant-Man. But I feel like if they had been willing to do it that way, they could have made Ant-Man a fairly successful miniseries.
No, I don't need to see more than one movie. Ant-Man, just give me one and just go home. I don't want no more. But see, but the miniseries idea is a great idea because a lot of things need to be told through more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stretched out and told better. But they want that movie money, so nobody can really tell a good story no more because they tell you like, give me 20 years of comic books in 2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just can't do it. And then we say, okay, well, I'll give you the first quarter of this superhero's journey or whatever. And then they're gonna be like, well, what about this? This is more popular than that. Throw that in there. But that didn't happen till way later. Still throw that in there. You know, like Spider-Man 3 forcing in Venom and shit. You know, things like that. It's always gonna fuck up how they do these, how they tell these stories because of money and you know, studio and you know, you'll never get that good. You might get a good mini series. Now they were talking about doing that Watchmen. We'll talk about that another time. Yeah. But stuff like this, especially Marvel, since they got their train going, they're not gonna take their time and do a good mini series. Much as I would love them to, they're just gonna keep these little movies going same way.
Because it kind of sucks because in the same way that DC assumed that they'd be able to just jump in the deep end with their movies. I feel like Marvel's hit the point where they at least at a like high studio level think they're too big to fail, and history has proven that nothing is too big to fail. So,
we got somebody in the chat. I wasn't even paying attention. If you still online, what's up with it? It's my girl Frida from Final Cut Fro. Good. It's a good channel. I ain't let you. You ain't seen the channel yet. I was trying to get some discussion with her on some Star Wars. She a big Star Wars fan. So yeah. What's up with it? We gonna talk some Star Wars one day. I just read her comment. She said, "Does it bother us that we does it bother us that she's not sexy?" No, but I don't. You know, you know what?
I mean, like, because to be perfectly honest, like the more, I guess you would say, objectifying looks that she's had over the years don't make sense. You know,
well, you know
in the MCU. So as far as that, like she's always supposed to have been more like, you know, a little bit rough, like just because she's been a soldier for so long, you know.
But see, you know what? It ain't even that for me. I don't care that she ain't. I mean, I don't mind her not being all that, but it's just the fact that her acting, you got to bring it in. You know what I'm saying? You sometimes you can not even. You cannot look great, but just your attitude and shit can make you more sexy. You know what I'm saying? And she is wooden. She a wooden piece of wood in that damn trailer, dude. I swear.
You know, because it's the same thing. Like with with the way Scarlett Johansson plays Black Widow, you can put her in the tightest catsuit you got available. If she can't play the character, she can't play the character.
Right. And I'm looking like it's not working, dude. You need to emote. I mean, shit. Especially coming off the movies, coming off Infinity War. Especially coming off Infinity War, you know what I'm saying? You got to do something. You can't come in there, yeah, we're heroes. We're whatever the fuck she said. I'm like, that's wood. That's so wooden. But
and like not only that, you can't be in a movie with Clark Gregg playing Agent Coulson and be the least emotive character.
Yeah. So you're right. Agent Coulson got more personality than she got, and that's a problem. But yeah, and I feel you, Freddie. You say she's no Gal Gadot, but she ain't ugly, but she's no Gal Gadot. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you know, it ain't really the looks, you know. It's just. It's the acting to me, you know.
Like, because I think I speak for both of us. It's always been about like, can this person play the character, you know, within the story that they've laid out, and it's just not there for me.
Yeah, and this kind of a bad look for Marvel, saying that okay, we got us a female superhero movie, but now seeing this movie, I can tell that y'all did not have a plan for this, and y'all didn't take your time and do it right. So y'all did a knee-jerk reaction and hurry up and came out with a female-led superhero movie, and y'all gave us some bland shit with a wooden actress. That's not a good look. That means tell me y'all wasn't thinking about making a woman-led superhero movie before. Y'all didn't have that planned out, because ain't no way y'all sat down and planned this out. You know, it looked rushed.
Because we seen what Marvel looks like when they trying, so this ain't it.
And like I said, the special effects is about good as Johnny Storm on the Fantastic Four movies. That's what she looked like. Don't she got with different colors on them?
Yeah, that's exactly what she looked like.
So
there's a little. We still ain't devolved all the way to Blade 2, but.
All right, Blade 2 class. What you talking about? Hey, but yeah. So overall, man, my overall thoughts. I'm gonna get yours in a second. My overall thoughts. It's gonna be about average. They might have a cool scene here and there, but they definitely forcing. And I just feel like they forcing a movie with a script that was very rushed, that they did not have, and they rushed and made a script. And I just feel like it's gonna be bland. And then Marvel gonna take that L, but they're gonna be cool because they're gonna make it back with the Infinity War. But Endgame, which is a shitty title. But I just feel like once they get there, after the Endgame, it's gonna be Endgame. No pun intended. It's gonna be Endgame for Marvel. I mean, I ain't gonna be Endgame, but I just feel like people just gonna be like, all right, man, I'm kind of to my ceiling with these Marvel movies. Let's move on to something else. That's how I feel. What's your final thoughts on that?
I'm with you on that. Like, because for me, it's like there's only so much you can do to raise the stakes. Like, I guess after the whole Infinity War plotline, the only thing you can possibly have is the utter ruination of the entire universe. Like, you can't just keep raising the stakes. So like they've kind of hit their highest point at this point. Like, they've hit their ceiling. And as far as this as far as Captain Marvel goes, I'm just disappointed. Like, I really want this to be something fresh, something like that we've never seen any shade of. And just having a female lead doesn't do that.
Exactly. That's why you got to work. You got to put in the work, and don't call somebody sexist just because you say it's trash. That's bullshit. Put in the work and make it good. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't get by on saying, oh, like somebody can't say, oh, it's racist. You say it's not good because I'm black. No, if it's not good, it's not good. Put in the work and exceed the expectations. That's how you beat sexism and racism. Exceed the expectations. You got to put in the work. And that's my final
I had
thoughts
somebody
on
try to clap back on me for being down on it online, and they're like, so what? It's pandering because we put a woman in the lead? Oh, how dare we? I'm like, no, it's pandering because all you did was put a woman in the lead.
Exactly.
You didn't make a compelling narrative. You didn't cast someone who could play the character brilliantly. All you did was you plugged in a female character into a generic conflict.
Yeah. So we could talk all day about that. I'm gonna move on to our next trailer, man. Then I'm gonna wrap up the podcast. But so that's our final thoughts on that Captain Marvel. In the whole movie, we'll see, and we'll definitely get a review up when we see the movie, and then we'll have some more discussion up. It's coming out in a couple months, so coming soon. All right, moving on to our next topic, man. We got now this movie I seen. It just popped up in my thumbnail. I mean, on my on YouTube, and I saw the thumbnail for it. I wasn't too sure about it, so my boy Larry from Critic Quest, he reviewed it. So he told me it was real good. So I was like, let me check it out. And then I read up on it. It looks interesting. It sounded kind of cliche where, oh, I'm an assassin and I quit and I'm no longer doing that work no more. Kind of one of them one last job kind of deals. You know what I'm saying?
That does sound familiar.
Okay, it's a graphic novel. I don't know if it's
the established plot or if it's that I've actually heard of.
Right. So I don't want to act like I know what's all going on. I just know like a little snippet of it. I know it's something about an assassin that's retired or some shit. So I'm gonna watch this trailer, then I'm gonna get to discussion after I watch it. It just sounded kind of interesting when I read it. So without further ado, Polar trailer. John Wick cousin.
Stan
I
Wick.
like it here. It makes me peaceful.
Me too.
You're not from around here, are you?
No, I'm retired.
What was your job?
I was in the funeral business.
As you know, we manage the investments of our employees. If a former agent dies after retirement,
Okay, it looks very comic book.
their $8 million goes
It looks
back
fun,
to
though.
the company.
This is a bad idea.
Who the hell is he?
Somebody set me up over here. They get afraid have nothing to do with it.
You tried to kill the Black Kaiser and kidnap his cute little neighbor. We should him so we don't have to look over our shoulder for the rest of our lives. You'll need all of it.
Try not to be scared. You make mistakes when you're afraid.
Thought you stopped smoking.
Figured he wouldn't kill me.
That's dope.
Why are you doing this?
I like it.
You're not a good man. But you're doing a good thing.
Did you happen to see anything peculiar the past couple days?
Okay, that was Polar. That was Polar, dude. That it looked fun as a mug, though. What's your first thoughts about that?
Dang. Are we sure like the folks behind John Wick ain't involved in this?
I
Like,
mean, it looked like some John Wick shit. They say it's based on a graphic novel, so it was already a previous property. So that's where all the comic booky look is coming from. Because I guess that was the villain. I thought it was Jack Black or something, like some kind of fat dude with a red suit on. Did you see that?
yeah, I didn't catch a good look at the face.
Right. I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking, was that Jack Black? I just had got a Jack Black idea. I was like,
Jack
okay,
Black
now
with some
just-
frosted tips.
So I'm gonna speak on Mad Nicholson, man. I really like that actor. I be watching Hannibal. You ever watch that show?
Yeah.
So I mean, I like the actor, but I'm looking like I never pictured him as this badass assassin dude. That's what really throwing me for a loop. He's been hanging out with.
He's
hanging
always
out with
been
Liam
really
Neeson,
good
huh?
at. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, what'd you say?
He's always been really good at being able to do the most without doing anything at all.
Yeah, I'm saying he's channeling his Liam Neeson, like Taken, like what I mean. He's a middle-aged guy.
This is what Taken should have been.
No, Taken was the shit. The first Taken. The rest of them, that's
Yeah,
trash.
okay.
But you didn't like the first Taken?
I like the first one, yeah.
I'm finna say, but okay, that'll be another podcast. We could do a whole podcast and talk about if you didn't like the first one, but the second one, the third one was trash. Okay, moving on. But yeah, I really like Mad Nicholson. I'm looking like he's a middle-aged guy, like late 40s, early 50s or whatever. So he's like doing that. It's not really dead fiction. It's that old, I'm an old grizzled war veteran kind of, guy. But I'm looking like I'm impressed. He whooping ass. I didn't expect him to be that guy. I always expect him to be like the scientist, the smart guy, but not the tough guy.
And I'm really like kind of optimistic over this, like minimal quick cuts, keeping the shaky cam low,
Yeah, I'm thinking like, what you think about it? Because it's a Netflix.
I'm surprised at that, but like with the Netflix stuff, like they haven't been very judicious on who gets to put a film up. So like, but so far this one looks good.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised that they went Netflix on this though. Like, I feel like this could have done some numbers.
Right, I know. But I'm glad it is, man. Just so I won't have to go out to the theater because this is something I got to see. But like I said, it's a previous property. I think it's like what's that? All those graphic novels that they had coming out, like they've been adapted.
Wanted and
Wanted. What's the one with Two Guns? The one with Denzel and you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, like Two Guns and Bullet to the Head. You know, that was a graphic novel. So it's like in that camp, you know. And those movies are fun, but they kind of low budget, but they still fun action movies and stuff. So it's in that camp, but it looks like in all the colors and shit. It look what's the word I'm looking for?
Vibrant.
Yeah, that's cool. Because it's a word I'm trying to get, and I can't. It's not coming to me. But the part when he raised his hands up and shot or whatever, that was dope as shit, right?
Yeah.
Why they have to show it in the trailer? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's cool. It brings you in, but I'm looking like that would have been so dope if they would have saved that for the movie.
Well, you know, I don't know, like whoever it is that's been cutting trailers in Hollywood for the past few years. I don't think they have it in them to hold stuff back.
Yeah, I know in trailers or whatever, but that's fine though. It's Netflix. I'm good. But it like I said, it looked fun. It looked like pretty much a John Wick. I think they probably capitalizing on that John Wick craze. You know.
Yeah.
We're gonna give you a dumb action movie with a silly plot. Just have fun with the action.
Yeah.
And that's
okay. It looks like they've tried to do some of the same kind of world building too, like, you know, have the whole like secret society and everything.
Yeah, and that's okay. Just just explain that when the movie first kick off. You know what I'm saying? Set your tone. Set your tone early. And let us know what we in for. Don't try to get serious at the beginning, then turn stupid. You know what I'm saying? Set your tone at the beginning. That's what John Wick did. Set the tone at the beginning and just let us know what we in for, and then we can roll with that, you know. So it looks good, man. Like I said, I really like Mads Mikkelsen, and I'm just kind of excited to see that. You got any final thoughts on that?
No, I'm just ready for it. They come out on the 25th, right?
Yeah, January 25th. So it come out a couple weeks. So we definitely get a review up for that. So yeah, I can go ahead and wrap up, man. Did you see Glass coming out in 2 weeks? So we gotta get the plans on for that shit. But
yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up and I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate everybody for checking us out. Appreciate you, Frida, for joining in on the chat. I think she said she already logged out. Where is that? God damn it. I'm trying to bring up the damn page. There we go. Yeah, she already logged out. But like I said, appreciate everybody for checking us out. And, go ahead and give us a sub to the channel, and give some thumbs up if you like the video. So, and I guess we out of here, man. We'll get back on. We'll get back on live next week with some more reactions and some more reviews, and I'll probably periodically be uploading a couple videos. So we out of here then.
Peace.
Oh shit, I forgot. I got it. Give me a second. Okay, now we out of here. All right, y'all.